everybody. Welcome to Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. And we have a tie. Amanda Jo Enright and Nick Curtis both texted in, hello, good morning all, at the same exact time. How about that? And Corey Litton, hello. Anyway, today we're going to go over track schedules, the year coming up here at River City Speedway. My home bull ring. I can't wait. Right now, of course, Stephen Lewis, Dale, the producer, are here. Brad Seng, one of the ownership group of River City Speedway, waiting to see if Darren Evavold shows up or not. But our show brought to you by the Red River Valley motorcyclists, Spirit of America, Bike and Car. It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclists Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult, and veterans are absolutely free. There's going to be a raffle with $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. Get your tickets by calling Scott at 406-899-5247 or Timothy at 701-739-1605 or go to rrvmnd.org. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. All right, we are back. If you have any questions or comments, by the way, everybody's here now, and that is a good thing. If you have any questions or comments for any of us, feel free to text or call. Our number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. Our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. So I was talking to a guy I know who wrenches on light models, and he said he was at his therapist's office and says, Doc, I'm a mechanic. I work for a race car driver. It's utterly depressing. I get to fix his car up, maintain it, tune it to perfection, but never, not once, have I been allowed to take it for a spin. It's crushing and depressing to think that such a wonderful thing is out there purring, but I'll never get to enjoy it. So the doctor says to him, well, sir, I think I understand just fine. My brother-in-law has the exact same problem. And so my buddy asks him, is he a mechanic too? And he says, no, a gynecologist.
I knew where that one was going halfway through.
It took me a lot of digging to get that one, too. Stephen Lewis, how you doing, man?
Good, we're doing good.
Good. Dale, the producer, is back here at the controls.
Yeah.
A couple of things I just want to get out of there quickly. We're still going to put the feeder out there, the word out there, looking for another track person doing the trackside announcing, being the other half of the bull ring, whatever we decide to call them. Right now, I've got a guy lined up named Gary, and he's going to be there for the first night for sure. And if anybody else wants to give it a shot, feel free to reach out to me, all right? We're going to kind of do that throughout the year and see if we can get somebody. Before we start talking, too, I want to show something. This just came out the other day. Dale, let's show the old logo of River City Speedway. There we go, the old logo of River City Speedway. Now let's take a look at that brand new one. Look at that. I think that's cool.
Got a nice, clean look to it.
Yeah, it is. A lot cleaner look. I think that is awesome. What else we got here? Oh, there you go. Yeah. And another thing, too, the social media. I've been following it. It seems like there's a lot more going on River City Speedway social media now. And I don't know, have there been changes made or is somebody different doing it or what's going on there?
Well, I got to kind of give my daughter pounds my phone every day of like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Like, Rena, it's all fine and dandy, but it's a lot. It's a lot to do and keep up to. And no, Mike Speaker still with Speedway Shots still does the day-to-day stuff, and Brina kind of does the fun stuff. Like we did this countdown of 50 days, whatever.
Yep.
Last week, last minute deal, she put an Easter egg hunt together, and it was like I wanted nothing to do with it, but I ended up being out there, and I tell you, it was fun. I couldn't believe the families that came out there.
And I don't know how that is in the pictures. Did you remember that picture of the kids standing there, Dale? I don't know where that is, but that was from the Easter egg hunt.
I can pull it up here.
Yeah, we can see if we can pull that up. By the time I found out about it, I tried to call my kid to see if we could get the grandkids up here, but they were all the way in Fargo, and so that did not pan out for me there. But welcome to the show, by the way. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. I've been hearing rumors. As he works on, we'll try to get this picture. But are we going to have a test in tune? Do you know? Anybody know?
Yeah, we're gonna. That's great.
Gonna.
We're going to. The date. We're trying to nail down a date, but it's going to be anywhere from May 4th to the opener on May 9th.
Okay. I got a call from Tommy today. They're working on our stuff up in the booth up there. We'll have to go check that out. I did get word that they are now working on that west wall. Is that true? I think somebody said they're working on that brick wall now.
Yeah, they tore it down. They got inside of it and made the repairs.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to tear the thing down like that. Wow, that is cool. Okay, it'd be any one of those. Yeah, we could show a couple of them.
Which ones do we have okay from with kids? I'm a little cautious.
Just there's a group one, I guess. That one, just throw that one up there. Yeah. Hopefully we're not getting anybody in trouble here, but I just wanted to show one quick pic of the Easter egg hunt. There we go. It's just some of the kids there, and it was a good day too. It was a nice day for it.
Oh, it was a great day, and every Easter egg had 2 tickets in there, and then the golden one I think had 5.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was kind of good. So then we would, Brina would tell the kids, like, they'd come up with the egg and put their name down or whatever. And, okay, now go rehide the egg.
Yeah. So, there you go.
So we kept going until it died down. So I think we ended up giving over 100 tickets away, and it was a last minute deal. So I got to believe next year that it should be bigger and better.
Okay. Do you know, did we find a track tech guy? Are we still looking?
Sounds like Lon Kasager's got a local.
Oh, good. Okay. And I also wanted to ask you, what have you been doing all winter? I'm going to ask you that too, but what have you been doing all winter? I know you're a grandpapa now, so that is pretty cool. Yeah. But
it was Kirby's birthday today.
Well, that's the dog.
The dog, Kirby Puckett.
Oh, Kirby Puckett.
It's his second birthday today.
Yeah. And you're
he told me he's going to grow up now. So still a puppy, sort of, but
yeah. How old?
2 years old.
2 years old. Heather McDonald.
14 years old, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Math right, Steve?
Sure. I'm missing out on all the texts. Everybody's saying hello. Jenny Barnes, hi strangers. And Manager Joe Enright when the season's opener next Friday or 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's 2 weeks.
It's May 9th.
Yep. I met your new tech guy, according to Heather. Brina says 2 and 4, and she also said hi, Dad. So what do you keep busy with in the winter when we're not racing? I know you guys all have hectic schedules, but what do you do in the off season?
Try to travel a little bit.
Yeah. Is that easier to do now since you guys are empty nesters?
Well,
or are you?
My bride likes to travel, and she's going to travel whether I come with her or not. And so I've learned to appreciate that. Right?
Yeah.
Had a chance to do New York over Christmas.
Oh, what'd you think of that? New York City?
New York City is a busy place.
I was there for 24 hours. I thought it was totally cool, but 24 hours was about enough for me.
Did Florida, made it to Volusia for the first time. That was interesting in Ocala Speedway. So I did a little bit of a racing fix and ran into Mike Balkin of all people there at Ocala.
I was going to say, you go to a racetrack, it doesn't matter where you're going to run into somebody, you know.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Friendly. So just busy doing what I always do. My regular job. And
speaking of Mike, I think Amber running this weekend.
Yes.
Talladega. And so is
Bryce Hogberg.
Bryce Hogberg's going to be running there too. Yep. So that is pretty cool. Bryce had a great finish at Daytona, by the way.
Hopefully he can keep his luck going, and hopefully Amber can find some luck again too.
Find some luck, yeah. What about you? What have you been doing all winter?
Just a freight relocating engineer, John.
Just a freight locating engineer. All right. Kevin Pappenfuss says our daughter's dog is also named Kirby Puckett. Oh, Kirby Puckett. Have you been able to catch up on any hockey? I know you're a hockey guy.
You know what? Just here and there. It's easy to lose sight of it.
Sure it is.
They kind of had a little bit of a down year, and still want them to win all the time.
Sure. Do you have a favorite for the Stanley Cup?
No. You know what? I've almost really not lost interest in pro hockey, but they're so good.
Yeah.
Everything's a soccer match.
Yeah, it kind of is. All I care about is it's not a Canadian team. Okay, what about you? You still have one Canadian team doing pretty good, and you're wearing their hat.
Yep. Edmonton's looking like they're gonna lay down and die. Here,
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Toronto's still looking okay, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're up 2-0. So
And the Wild looked really good the other night, but the problem is now the Wild are at home. And it seems like the Wild suck at home. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
I did enjoy that the other night. Not a Wild fan, but I did enjoy that because I'm even less of a Vegas fan.
Did you stay up till 12? Well, can't believe I'm asking them this. Did you stay up till 12:40 to watch the entire game?
I was drawing on stuff while it was going on and
Wow.
kept plugging away on some stuff. So.
Now, you're more of a basketball guy, or are you a hockey guy too?
I'm whatever sports is the flavor of the day.
Yeah, because you still spectate at a lot of high school sporting events, don't you?
Sacred Heart.
Yeah, you gotta love the heart.
Gotta love the heart.
How's their baseball team doing? Do you know? Because I know the Grand Forks teams are all seeming to do pretty well this year, but I haven't heard anything.
I suppose half a dozen wins and a couple losses.
Okay, so all the Grand Forks teams are looking pretty good. Josh Barker, for a hockey guy, not mentioning Ovechkin breaking Gretzky record. Come on. I watched it, and the cool thing about that was, and Stephen Lewis, I think you and I talked about this on the show last week or right after he broke the record. He tied the record in one less game than Gretzky got the record, and on the same number of games, he beat Gretzky's record. So identical number, 1,974, whatever the hell it was. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And then
right
we're
there.
likely going to kick off next year with like the first ever 900 goal scorer.
Yeah.
Like he only needs 4 to start off next year. So
I always say that Gretzky wasn't even considered a goal scorer.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. And I was one of those guys that said his record will not in our lifetime will ever be beat.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
and the goal thing is fine, but Gretzky still has more assists than Ovechkin has total points.
yeah, it was like he's still like 700 points ahead of him.
Nobody's ever going to beat those. For those of us who grew up with Gretzky, it was a bittersweet moment. It was. Dave Rosendahl, go Jets. Anyway, go Jets.
That record will probably never be broken, just like the record of the former Grand Forks Central high school hockey player and most points in the state tournament.
Oh,
Remember that one?
I think I know who that guy is.
That's a lot of points in a weekend.
And every year, yeah, it is. And you're still in that what's the book? The program for the state hockey tournament, aren't you?
yeah. So
You act like yeah.
well, I mean, it's a different time now today, and there's probably a lot of truth in those records that happened years ago. It's probably going to be tougher to break just because of running time.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But back in them days too, that was when the goalies had little pads and didn't wear masks and anything, right? Oh wait, you're not quite that old.
They call that the mercy rule. Right?
Yeah.
The mercy rule. Heather says my cousin had the state record for saves. It got broken. Brad's will get broke. I've been saying that for 20 years up here doing the games, and I don't know. Like you said, the game has changed a lot. Anyway, how about in the winter? What are you doing?
Just keep it on. Not really much of an off season anymore. Just keep drawing on stuff and shipping stuff out the door and that kind of thing. And then hockey at night. And so yeah.
I should probably mention 2 track schedules brought to you by Forks Karting Association. I don't have nothing written up yet, but Devil's Lake will be running. They are scheduled to run this Saturday, so hopefully Dale will get some work there.
Yeah. Looks like a good forecast for this weekend. It's going to be a pretty good lineup. 5 classes: pure stocks, street stocks, Midwest mods, late models, and the Western Renegade non-wing sprints making their debut this weekend.
All righty, let me get this stuff switched around. There we go. I was scheduled to take over for Dale last week, and of course they got canceled, and I was bummed. I really wanted to get a race in. You did make it to the opening night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you at least, and you were there too. Is that right? Did
Yep.
you go watch? Okay.
Yep.
Oh man, is John ready to go?
You know what? John's car's back at Wisconsin headquarters, right along with mine.
Okay.
So we'll both be ready for opening night.
We were talking, and you hear the rumors about people that aren't going to race or new cars going to race. Pretty exciting news with a couple of new late models coming in this year. I don't know if we're supposed to talk about it or not, but I know Deitzler, and I think you said Scow.
Yeah, Matt Scow. I talked to him the other day, and I just texted him and I said, "You can't keep rumors from me."
Yeah, yeah.
So
I did the same thing to another guy, and he's like, "Well, I'm not ready to really say." And I go, "Well, I've heard it from 4 people.
I don't know
So
what
you're
the
ready
big
to say
secret is all the
somebody?
time,
Yeah, big deal. I mean, I think that's
And then, of
pretty
course,
cool.
we got Kelsey in there, too.
Oh,
So-
that's right. Kelsey
Yeah.
Peterson also going to
she
be.
looked good in Devil's Lake.
Oh, did she did?
Absolutely, she did.
Okay.
I mean, and I don't like to talk about getting lapped, but I
Mm-hmm.
think she stayed for her first time in from a little tub
Yep.
to a full-size car.
Absolutely, yeah.
The car
Big
control and
difference.
whatever, and stayed on the same lap. So
Yeah, it wasn't until the very end that Tyler got her. So,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
and that's Tyler chasing.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
got Tyler
Yeah.
too. That's
in clean air.
Right, right. It was funny because on that day, my wife and I were grocery shopping, and we were coming down, and I happened to see them all loading up. They were just frantic. And Tucker was out there, and I could see Kelsey's car, and I assumed it was her car because it just had duct tape numbers on it, and that was it. Obviously, nobody was ready yet, but he had his panties in a bunch. He was not happy. There was shit going on, and it ended up he didn't run, I don't think, that night.
Yeah.
But they had some issues, and he wasn't happy. They were loading up.
Fueling,
It was
I think, so.
crazy. How many cars were over there? I didn't know that about Scow. Knew about Jamie. Kelsey drove like a boss. That's pretty cool to hear. Let's start talking first about last year. Did you have any nights that really stood out in your mind from last year at River City?
Well, for me, it kind of has a personal feel to it, a little bit to it. So I'll be a little selfish with it. But when Jade won with that wing that I wrapped that had Liebrick stuff on it, that was a pretty special night, of course. And we ended up a lot of times having to start the night with a memorial, unfortunately, or whatever, or a missing man or that kind of thing. But having Jade win with Mike's crew there and with Mike going into the Hall of Fame and all that, that was a pretty special one. That's one that stands out right now for me. So
I love the Hall of Fame nights. Granted, there's once in a while it was a little before my time. But I think those are so cool for those guys to get recognized. Yeah, I was pointing to Brad about we got a couple of new additions here. We got a Wayne Anderson Cup winning flag up there, and of course, World of Outlaws. And so that was pretty cool. Somebody that has won the Wayne Anderson Cup a few times said this would look good in your studio, and I had to agree with him. So anyway, your turn. Did you have a favorite or favorites from last year, nights at River Cities? Because I think the schedule keeps getting better and bigger every year, and it's impossible for me to figure out a favorite night, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I'm talking as a promoter right now. Every one of them. I mean, it might be the street stocks that were the best race that
Yeah,
It might be the sprint cars. So there's always there's a couple clunkers, right?
Sure.
Someone runs off and hides or whatever, but there's some really good ones
Yeah.
too. So any night that we can start at 7 and get the people out of there at 10:15, 10:30, that's a win for me.
And we got lucky with the rain out with the Outlaws late models. Instead of a Friday, we brought them back in on Sunday.
Sunday, yep.
And it worked out fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I don't care what night we're there. I'll be there any night. How about you, Darren? Did you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Stephen for referencing. We lost too many, right, last season. So
Yeah,
like
we
every
did.
Friday we were memorializing someone.
Yeah.
And that's certainly sad. I lost my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Dale.
Yep.
But
Medium.
when I'm at the racetrack, I got a Dale over there I can hang with a little bit. Sort of concur with Brad, but how about Chad Hoff winning
Yeah.
the school bus race?
Yeah.
Right? on his way out to Western North Dakota. I can miss
Rigged.
that guy, but
I didn't get to see it, but I thought there might have been some fixing going on for that one. I think the jig was up on that one, but
little wrestling fixing. kind
Yeah,
of deal
and-
going
and-
on, maybe?
oh yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious. Chad's going to be missed. I mean, he was a great part, of River City Speedway. But there was so many good nights. The moment of silences we could have done without. And you talk about medium. I mean, I miss just seeing him coming in here to get haircuts.
Yeah.
Because I'd always run into him when he was getting a haircut. But that was, hopefully we don't have a year like we did last year. The different dates this year, we did it once last year. We ran on a Wednesday, or was it a Tuesday last year?
Tuesday.
Yeah, and there's going to be a couple of those this year. Thursday, May 22nd, Wednesday, July 2nd, and of course, the July 2nd one, that's a great one. We'll be racing Wednesday because the 4th is Friday, and that's 4th of July. And I'm thinking, great, now I'm going to miss fishing because, I always will miss it because I'm never guaranteed money fishing, but I'm guaranteed money at the racetrack. But we are not having it this year because we usually take the 4th of July week off. So that's a good one. But
I'd like to when you're saying that, we're going to run 2 Thursdays this year and a Wednesday. And originally we had it for all Wednesdays, and then it was brought to our attention that dropped a bomb on, like we did, is go-karts race on Wednesday.
yeah.
Right? And it's like, wait a minute, we can't do that. So the only one we had a problem with was Wednesday. So went and sat down with Kenny with the Go-Karting Association, and you know what? He was very, very respectful. He understood everything we were doing, and it's like, quite honestly, we couldn't do it on Thursday, the 3rd, because they're gone.
Yeah, they're
right?
gone.
So we got to do it Wednesday, and he said, hey, we'll move our, he wouldn't do the same thing with the go-karts either. So he said, you know what, we'll race on Tuesday and we'll race Wednesday. And like I said, and it's a once in a whatever, during the cycle that it happens.
It won't happen again for a few years.
Yeah. So again, hats off to the Grand Forks Go-Karting Association.
That's cool.
Work hand in hand with us, and we all get along.
That is great. Yes, and Timmy Schwantz, I did hear that today. In fact, a lot of my homies from Thief River have been on the phone with me all morning. Articat was sold. I believe Argo bought them. At least it sounds like the ownership group or somebody there bought them. Kaylee wants to know, I'd like clarification on the rule. Since the owners themselves are there, what's the rule on four-wheelers? We always park ours on the side of the trailer. Don't ever need it because we park so close to the pit stands. But am I able to ride from our trailer out of the pits and around to the front entrance? I haven't had a four-wheeler back in the pits for a long time. I used to go back there once in a while, and that's the only time I got in trouble by Moocher was because Shane Romling had jumped on the front rack, and I was giving him a ride back. I didn't know that was a no-no. But can they have four-wheelers? Can they drive them around or not?
Well, thanks for bringing that up here. So it's been a rule forever, and it's not a rule that we made. It was the insurance company.
Okay.
However, if you drive it like a human being,
Yeah, right.
and there's not dust behind it, you're very welcome to drive it out and drive it right back to where, it's not a...
It's not there to cruise around and go, road tripping all around the place. And you also got to have your head on a swivel because you don't know what's coming and going, because I make my trip in there with a golf cart every night, and you really do have to be careful. These guys just can't stop on a dime.
Right.
And they know that.
Especially when you drive out of the pits when the races, everyone's entering, there's a line out there. If you're not paying attention, you run them over.
Right. You got to find someone to run around the infield with a mic again and get interviews after Rex and such. Those used to be everyone's favorite. We are working on that right now. Kelly, good morning. How's it going with the county and the grandstands? Everything looking good? That's Marie Stewart wondering. And I think everything is starting to look good. I mean, they've been working on the grandstands now, but the county stuff, I don't know now with Bob Ross having to resign. Are we good to go? I mean, for the season? There's nothing really in the way with the jail or any of that crap anymore, is there?
No, they did it. I think they were ahead of schedule, so the contractors did a nice job of getting that thing put back together, right? So
Okay.
Politics, right?
Oh, I know.
The
Politicking.
subject of the day, unfortunately, in some cases, but
And now,
I think we're ready to go.
I know home of economy ownership had always been pretty gracious with the overflow parking and things like that because, they shut their doors at whatever time. Will that be an issue with now new ownership and runnings, do you think? Or has anybody talked to them yet about that?
That hasn't been broached to them yet.
Okay.
But, it appears like they are, wanting to be good neighbors within
Good
the
stewards,
community.
yeah, sure.
And so, this is kind of a good problem to have, but then it's kind
Right.
of not a good problem because we got to shoeborn a lot of people into
Yeah.
that fairgrounds for the really big events,
Mm-hmm.
and got to do our due diligence with the help.
You know, and then it's always up to that one person that parks all effed up. Because then the next 10 cars, it's just going to be worse. And pretty soon there's 10 cars in an area that could have parked 20. You know, it's always that one dummy. It's like the yellow lines in a parking lot out here. Don't you see the yellow lines?
Well, if anybody's got an idea on how to correct that on a regular Friday night race program, where there, you know, seemingly there is enough space, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to not park, you know, 3 deep.
Yeah.
So someone's
common sense.
SOL to get out of there if they need to.
Yep.
So we need to do a better job of kind of addressing that. Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know, but
I get the deputy knocking on the door up in the pit box or up in the press box, and he goes, "Hey, these guys got to move." And I love saying it. You know, you either move your car or it's going to be very embarrassing if you go down there and it's not there, because they will tow it. So here you go. I'm going to give you a couple of chances to get there, and usually they do, but they're asking, can the county give you space on the west end? Take the fence out where they keep the culverts that are never there. Is that like on the far west where we had people last year?
The county shop, I think, is what they're alluding to.
Oh, the west end, yeah. Okay.
And we're able to use that for bigger events.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff Andy's guys unlock the gates, and that's been a thing for quite a while. So we'll continue to appreciate that opportunity, and you know, if it continues to be a problem, and that's a good thing for River City Speedway and the greater Grand Forks area, right? When we're bringing a lot of people to town, and we appreciate all the support, because it's fun when you have nights like that.
Right.
Well, one of the additions I really loved last year was I was looking at my race pass the Thursday of the sites. I was like, these guys are signed in. Where the heck are they?
Yeah.
They're like, so you walk by Miller's Barbecue and it's like, you're north of Terra up here. And it's like, well, heck, now we can fit everyone. Like, you know, it worked out real nice, I thought. So.
Yeah, that was work with Brad and
Yeah,
the mill.
North Dakota Mill was. I mean, they got a lot of race fans over there. And
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy how when you're subjected to, you know, what some people sometimes think is a crisis, and then you got good suggestions or good thinking, and Brad ran with that, and yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, I mean, they mowed it, tore down trees.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
They did a good
yeah.
job.
So it's, you know, for the sites weekend, that's a problem solved.
Right, right. Are they going to do the show this spring at New Runnings? No, they are not. I did talk to management over there, and it just couldn't work this year because they've been working on their big grand opening, which is this weekend. We actually talked to them all here. They said there was nothing they could do till well after Easter, and by then everybody's out doing their stuff. So hopefully by next year we'll be able to get back, and hopefully it will be at Runnings, and that's what we're going to try to work on now. It's too bad because that Racer Showcase
That was
it was
really
great fun.
taken off and kind of being a nice way to kick things off. So hopefully that can get back to normal.
And it's a great way for people to show off their new rides, their new wraps, their new everything. I really miss that, but hopefully we will have it back next year. Was there, and I'm going to ask both of you guys this, has there ever been a show, and I'm not just saying about last year, but have there ever been, because there's a lot of trial by error in everything we do in life, but has there ever been anything that you thought was going to be really good and it just didn't really pan out, and you thought to yourself, we probably won't do that again?
Many years ago, a Wayzata Challenge Series race on a Wednesday night. I remember Donnie Mack was a River City's partner, and it was clearly a day where it was going to rain out, right?
Yeah.
But so passionate was that guy, and I loved his heart for racing, right?
Absolutely.
But the sky breaks apart, and you see some blue sky, and you knew it was coming, right? But we were going to hold off forever. Try to be more responsible and get those kind of cancellations in a timely fashion if you can. But that was a bummer. But in promoting, we've done events that seemingly haven't been as successful as we wanted to right out of the box. But, you know, the culmination of the Sites Memorial, right? When we get the whole event in, it's just awesome for race fans, the community, and so on and so forth. But, I'm sure there's some others. Like if I thought back, we're season 27 at River City Speedway.
Is it that long already? Oh,
and we're about 7 shows away or there
500.
from 500.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
that's I get it there. We got to do that again.
Well, here on the
7
opposite
shows
end,
away. We got to remember to remind me
Yeah,
that, so I can be screaming about that all
that
night
was a
long.
good reminder
man.
for me. I'll have to count that out when I get home and make sure that we know that and all that. So, but one gamble on the opposite end there, one gamble that did work was the Tuesday last year.
Yeah, I
Real
thought
good
that worked
crowd,
great.
good car count and all that. And yeah, so that was another one I really liked last year was the Tuesday.
You know, and with the fair stuff they brought in the Baja last year or whatever they call it. I thought that was a blast. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think it was anything like I imagined it would be when I showed up, but the fans loved it. I thought, and it's picking up. I mean, these guys are running races all over the place now, and I know they got a show coming up in St. Hilaire. I think the Kynes boys do out of Thief River area there, or
Yeah, it's
Goodrich.
It's a meet and greet. I believe it's the first Saturday of May at the St. Hilaire station. Midday.
Okay.
I can double check that.
Yeah, Broadway Station, St. Hilaire. Will Runnings be selling tickets like Home of Economy did?
That
Do you
is
know?
the plan.
Okay, that is the plan. So we'll probably have the same ticket outlets as we have in prior years. You know, we've kind of talked about the past. The present is, again, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, I think our schedule just gets bigger and better all the time, and we're going to talk about this upcoming season here in just a couple of minutes, and we'll do that right after this from Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids. Check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street or call them 701-780-8462 and make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Alrighty, welcome to Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. That's worth another round of applause. Lots of questions, and thank you, everybody. Again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to text or call 701-213-0863. Parker Obregon can't wait for this year. Did the Fair Board sell the track, or did they just promote? The Fair Board, okay, let me see if I got this right. The Fair Board...
This is politics.
Yeah.
Why are we talking politics?
Okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's the Fair Board does not... Yeah, they don't have nothing to do with the track, really.
We lease the racetrack from the Fair Board.
There you go. All right, Sean, you got that answer. I wonder if he's related to Chad.
I was wondering, that was my question.
Yeah, that was mine too. I was thinking about that.
Or was it Chad using a pseudonym, just not last name?
Well, that
just
could
first
be.
name?
That
Yeah.
could be.
What's a
And yeah, I was gonna pseudonym.
More of a pen name, more of a track.
right.
Kind of
yeah.
like,
Do I have a pseudonym?
You could.
You could.
You could.
Well, what's Chad's again? Cinnamon.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
pseudonym is Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. He likes those cinnamon
say
bears.
that, say that 5 times. fast.
Cinnamon. No, I can't even say it one time. Is it just me or is it hard to hear? No, Darren's he's talking quiet. Thanks, guys. It's actually Huffer. Oh, there you go. I wanted to bring this up too. You know, we didn't get the whole thing when you called me that day, and I mentioned that Chad Hoff won the bus races and he didn't get any mention. I wanted to throw that. Remember we were talking about that? It was somebody that didn't get their number up there, and somebody didn't really like that. But hopefully they're not watching, so they get mad. You know what Deanne just said about you, Donnie's sister? You have the best hair in the pit area.
I need to get some of Brad's gel, some fun gel. Hair product.
My hair
doing
products
this for close to 60 years, and look, it still looks like shit.
My hair products is a bar of soap, but I always throw a baseball hat on there too. I'm so excited. It's finally race season, and yes, I am too, Deanne. Good morning, Scotty Iverson. Anyone going to Fergus tomorrow? I didn't realize you're going to Fergus tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Wow, that'll be
I
awesome.
don't know of any late models that are going. I'm sure there's going to be. I've got to believe I've seen Weston and Trey out in Devil's Lake, and in Ogilvie, I've got to believe that the couple streeters for sure will be there. So,
Okay, what about like Tyler? Any of those guys? You
Well,
think they'll be in Fergus?
yeah, Tyler will be
Yeah.
there. He's raced a lot this year.
I think the twins are running. So,
They're going to Fergus.
Okay.
but they always usually that opener is a really good late model field too. It's a good field of most cars there because usually no one else is
Maybe
going.
maybe Deanne can
running,
get off and
so.
go watch him tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
I went there one
oh.
time with Brad, and he won the feature. Remember that? I jumped in with you.
Oh wow.
How long ago was that?
It was a long time ago.
No kidding.
Well, it was either a long time ago or 2 years ago because you swept 2 years ago, and then
that's
I
right.
think that was your first win in like it was over.
It was
a
the
decade,
night when
but-
you forgot to go to the tech shed or something.
Oh,
That night?
yeah.
Because
yeah.
we know it wasn't
It's like-
last year.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Had some
it was-
bologna sandwiches in the cooler and some chips on the way down. It was good.
Race of dinner of champions right there.
Absolutely.
Balajna. Yeah, Dale.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw Parker Obergon in the chat a little bit ago saying he's stoked for the Baja races. He was one of the feature winners from the Baja racing
Yeah.
last year. Curious for Brad and Darren, what was it like? Was that the first time we ever saw a chicane in River City Speedway? Was that a first? How did you guys like that?
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought it was awesome, and it's a growing sport, right?
Until they
It's
hit the light pole.
Until they hit the that had to get fixed up. But so my question for the Baja community, in conjunction with the Greater Grand Forks Fair, would 2 nights of Baja racing or 2 afternoons of Baja racing be popular by chance?
I think
would
it
think
would.
so.
It's their decision, but
Well, and then those guys, it's a
Maybe
chance
some
for them to
response.
stay if they want.
Sure,
and
there
spend
you
the
go.
night, and see this. A lot of these guys are small town guys. They don't have the amenities that we have here and the things to do.
Yeah, I was about to
I think
say
it'd be a
it
great
kind of
idea.
just ended up being one of their bigger shows just because of the venue.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm of the sort, if I can stay at one place and race twice, let's do it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And going back to Fergus Falls, Shane says, he still has the trophy in his hauler. So, and yeah, Brina says that's the last trophy he got. Man, let's pick on Brad Day today, I guess. The girls will be there. The twins will be there. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a peek at this year. We got some new dates. Again, we talked about the Thursday and Wednesday coming up, but where do we start? I'm just going to name a few here and we'll talk about it. But May 30th, we got, of course, the World of Outlaw Sprints and the NLRA late models. June 27th, the World of Outlaw late models. July 18th, Buffalo Wild Wings King of the Wings. August 1, Hall of Fame night. 15th of August, school bus racing. The 22nd of August, World of Outlaws are back. The sprint cars with NLRA. And then, of course, September 4th, 5th, and 6th, the John Sykes Memorial, kicking off with the prelude to the Johnny. September 12th, and I love the way we end our season now. All sprint cars on the 12th. And September 9th, the season finale, all sprint cars. Looking at the schedule, what really is tweaking you right now, piquing your interest? Is there any 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights?
If they all, I don't think the people, I think that our fans do realize that some of the talent that we, in our sprint car division that we have, late model also, the guys that race here every Friday night, but it seems obvious, Are guys as good as the World of Outlaw guys in the sprint cars? Absolutely are.
Yeah, they are.
They just don't have the time and they don't live it, right?
Right.
However, when you get another traveling series that are just like our guys come in or we go there, they're right up front. It's so don't write off our NOSA guys, that's for sure. So this year, a little difference in the schedule is in the sprint car world, the IRA would come up here for 2
Yep.
days. Okay. So what happened this year was there's another new sprint car 410 sanctioning body, which is the All-Stars that
Yep.
came back into the fold.
Back in the day, yep.
Right?
And they were, okay.
So what happened was when the IRA, and Steve Sinclair would love it, when their group would come up here with the help of Todd LaHaye and Buffalo Wild Wings and race for 2 days.
Yep.
He said the camaraderie that our guys got was second to none. Like,
Sure.
you haven't seen that before, which is great. However, when they left that Wisconsin-Illinois area, the All-Stars came in and scheduled. So now all the IRA guys were saying, why are we driving 600 miles
Yeah.
when we could race out our back door?
Yeah.
So it made sense. So we reached out to a South Dakota
MSTS.
MSTS, right?
Yep.
And the goal is you know, they have some very strong South Dakota runners. Again, when our NOSA guys race with them, they're right up front. So hoping that they get a 4-day swing up here, and there might be some odds and ends guys that would come up here for 4 days and keep it going.
I just thought that they didn't want to come up here anymore. They went back home with their tail tucked between their legs after what happened up here. Shh. Oh, did I say that out loud? I do want to mention this, though, and it's back and forth when we get the text here, but Marie says, thank you for the Easter egg hunt. My son was bummed we missed the other ones, but came across the River City Speedway one. Very much appreciated in the community, and absolutely, that's very much appreciated. When I was looking at the schedule, I printed this one off, and it did not have them on there until, thank you for bringing me the nice big schedule, but that Wayne Anderson Cup, 3 nights of Wayne Anderson Cup racing, 4 nights.
Yeah.
Okay,
Four.
which night did I want to? Which night did I miss?
One in May, one in June, one in July, and one in August.
Oh, August, May.
So May 22nd,
Okay,
June
there you go.
13th,
Look at
July
the-
2nd, and August
I missed
15th.
the
John, look at the colored schedule, and you'll see the number 9s
I'm
in
trying to do all of this at one time. Just stop it now. I was pointing at the Wayne Anderson Cup flag that now is on our studio wall, but you know, and we kind of go back to last year with losing a lot of family from the River City Speedway. Wayne Anderson, you know, has been gone for a few years now, but the guy, you know, he's the creator of NOSA. How cool to have a cup and 4 races with his name, but I think that's something the sprint car guys really look forward to.
Absolutely, and kind of as you get old, and I shouldn't say older, but the evolution of trophies to plaques to, like, these flags are pretty cool, right? You can only, Mom will only let you put so many trophies up in
Yep,
the house.
right.
But we can hang,
Yeah, you don't need a shelf for a flag.
or shelves in the garage
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And these flags you can hang up for, you know.
And by the way, I was told that this Wayne Anderson Cup flag is just on loan. It's just a loaner. So if we ever move this studio, it either has to follow me, or if this ever ceases to keep going, it's got to go back to the owner.
And honest, it's the same thing, and Darren can attest to this too, is the Delane flag
Yeah.
for the sites
Yep.
and the John sites. Everyone gets they love the flags. Like that's more important than the trophy.
Yeah. Yep.
I wanted to, again, going back and forth with the new logo, was it just time? I wanted to give a shout out to Jeff Kroll. I don't know who he is, but he's the one that designed it. But was this something that's been in the works, or all of a sudden this just popped up and you guys went, let's go for it?
Jeff kind of, I had mentioned it one day, and it was probably over a half a year ago, at least a year ago. And then he came, you know, all of a sudden you get an email and here it is, like, wow. So then I forwarded it on to Darren, and it's, everything just needs to evolve once in a while.
Yeah, that change, you know, a lot of people don't like change, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, and then everybody loves it. I mean, I think it's awesome. It gets to be sometimes too much, where if you see somebody with a hat on, and maybe they're kind of doing that to see what it all says, but with this new logo, it's really, really obvious. Turn up your volume. Perry Dobmeyer, turn up your hearing aid. How's that? I'm maxed out here. I'm red zoning it, so I don't know. We could turn up everybody. We're opening up on May 9th. Hopefully, we'll get that date in there. We're looking for a test and tune, but World of Outlaws always in May, that first time. But how cool is that to get them right towards the beginning of the season?
Yeah, it's great as long as Mother Nature cooperates,
Right.
right? We've only had one hiccup. Had to work really hard with a lot of really great people on occasion when it comes to those World of Outlaws sprint car races and Mother Nature, right? but seemingly we've made it happen for, since 2007 was our first show with
out
SLS.
of like 38 shows, we've only lost one.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and then you throw in
It just hurts when you lose one of them too. Right?
oh gosh, does it ever?
Great anticipation as to what's going to happen in the unfolding chapter of
Yep.
World of Outlaw Sprint Car.
And why can't we have that luck with the World of Outlaw late
I was
models?
about to say, the
I
luck
mean,
the
it just
sprints
seems
have,
like
the
no
late
matter
models
what,
do not.
what's the weather
So-
going to be like? Oh, late models here, it's going to rain. I mean, it seems like that happens all the time. And when we do talk about World of Outlaws, Johnny Gibson still has the streak going. Wes Irwin, I feel bad, he lost one of his pets. You know, when you live in a truck or a toter or a camper, and your pets are your family, I feel bad that he happened to lose one of them, but maybe he'll get another one back, and I think that's pretty cool.
And how about the late, great Eloy, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
gosh, I know.
That was another one. We were the first race literally after.
Yeah.
So that was-
super nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
Albuquerque, New Mexico's Eli, what was his last name?
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
yep, Gutierrez.
Always helpful. I remember talking to him the week before the Sites Memorial, right? Memorial Day, and we tore the loop out of the racetrack. Imagine that.
Oh, that's
'Cause
right.
that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
like that happens, and he was instrumental in helping us find a way to get one of those things overnight. And
Yeah, it was 2021.
James
That was
Maher brought
wild.
his
Yeah.
backhoe in, and
Yeah.
we got it hooked up, and away we went.
Wow. You know, how important is it, though, to have these people after, when you've been doing it for as long as you guys have, it's great to have these people because things do happen. And all of a sudden, like, you know, I got a call today. Now they're saying, well, we got everything hooked up there, but nothing works. And I'm just thinking, okay, I'll be up there in a little bit. So.
That made for a scary season championship in 2021 because it went down about midnight there. And they're
Yeah.
texting me down the infield. It's like, I'll come up and look at it. Crawl up underneath the grandstand. I'm like, I think someone clipped it. We're going to need another one or whatever. Oh, it was Renegade too.
Oh, yeah.
And you always say it. Why they put a number on the side of them or whatever? It's like, I know these guys. I'll go up and hand score it. It'll be fine. or
Yeah,
whatever.
right,
But
right.
It definitely made things interesting that night, that night and that week after. So
I want to take a look at some pictures here, and you guys can just jump in whenever you want. I did picked out a couple. We also had Brad's daughter picked out a couple. So we're just going to take a couple of look at some of these pictures here.
Oh, yeah, that's a great view.
Suck that gut in, buddy.
Jeepers. I'm under tall.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think it's about the hair. We're looking at the hair, right, Deanne?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that hair?
It's actually a really good picture. No, I was talking about the one on the right.
Jesus.
Like the hair.
Is the car going to be red again?
No.
Oh.
Blue?
Oh. Oh.
Little everything.
that is a total switch.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else.
I had actually, race fans would say, how come Brad's car is red again this year? He had more success in the blue car. I don't know. They were keeping track of your stats.
Yeah.
Oh, people know. Hey, was that you that dumped the water on the water challenge on Brina?
No, that was Milt.
Okay, I thought it was Milt. Yeah, okay.
That thing is back.
Now that still to this day is one of my all-time favorite picks.
That is the first time I've seen. Is that
That's
going to
an
be a
iconic picture
viral
there.
thing? The water dump.
I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
once before.
Yeah.
But
Well, it
it's
was just a
back.
bucket of ice water.
Oh,
and
yeah,
not
yeah,
a whole
the ice water
backhoe.
challenge,
Yeah.
right?
Anyway.
That picture there, I think, is incredible. I don't know. Did that come from you guys, Steven,
I'm
or
not
who took that one?
sure if that one's mine. I do know I did one.
That was outlawed.
This was, they had just pushed them off and they were rumbling around there and then they had to pull them off, but it made for, obviously, as you can see, good photos. So.
All right.
What is this all about?
I love the jacket. Look at that.
Yeah, what did they say about that? Let's see if I can.
Check out that hair, people.
I might not have the text anymore. They said, oh, I don't have it. Oh, darn it.
I just got off the ski slope.
This is a Michelin man, I think she said, or something like
Swiss
that.
Alps.
There you go.
Unreal.
What'd you have in your hot chocolate? There we go from the Easter egg hunt. And again, you can tell by the way the kids are dressed, the weather was really decent. Steven, that was your pick, by the way.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you, Brina.
Thank you.
Wow,
Oh,
look at
wow.
that throwback.
Yeah.
Love that one. That's awesome.
That is a great picture.
Hey, how about my father-in-law, after Dale passes away, going through his stuff and comes up with the
Oh, yeah.
04
Yeah.
Brad saying
Nestle.
Nestle's
Yeah.
T-shirt.
That is
And we
so
borrowed
cool.
it to you.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Sophie insisted on making sure she got it back. I think she got it back.
Because I think I wore it and it fit me about like an Under Armour shirt.
You look like me.
It wasn't pretty. I didn't do any justice to the shirt. Rick Ray, by the way, is watching. Hey, Rick, he said awesome hair too. So
Hey, Rick.
that's all. And thank you, Brina, and for everybody for the pictures. I thought that was cool. 22 nights of racing scheduled this year. Any shows that you're really itching to get to?
Well, of course, the MSTS thing. It'll
Yeah.
be neat to have that weekend with
No, do you know
a
any of the
different
names
group. But
with those guys?
so it's a different. So it's basically Huset's guys. They don't
Yep.
all follow it, but it's kind of your Matt Jules and your Riley Goodnose and Brooke Tatnells or whatever. Huset's is
Good
off.
names.
Yeah, Huset's is off, but Knoxville will be running, but Huset's is off. So we'll have a bunch of South Dakota guys and that. So
any predictions? Put you on the spot.
I'll just go ahead and say I don't think we'll have a problem like
Yeah.
we haven't
Yeah.
been having. So all but one time.
Yeah, it's like
you know.
bring it.
Yeah.
and you know, I'm going to admit too, that night I didn't know until it was over, and Victory Lane is when I found out that we didn't get it.
Well, I still tell the story that first Saturday
Yep.
night, right? So Mike was all amped up because he thought TJ had won it, right? Thomas. And so he runs up to Thomas. He must not have pulled right into Victory Lane, obviously, because Thomas knew he didn't win. And Mike's all like, "Yeah, heck yeah, dude, we won it or whatever." It's like, "No, Mike, I didn't." It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
That 39 cars lapped? Nope. So
Yeah.
and it wasn't just those two. Jade was in it too. Jade led 55 of the 60 laps that weekend and didn't end up with either
Yeah.
one of them. That's just how nuts that weekend was.
that is
And that's
something.
a hallmark to this track and how it is pretty much all the time.
For sure.
So,
I actually ran into Mrs. Hastings yesterday, and it was her birthday.
birthday.
Yeah,
Yep.
so she was actually at a function for her work or her job, but which happened to be in a bar. And gee, go figure, that's where I was for a function too. I actually had a meeting there, but yeah, it's good to see her. And happy birthday again, happy belated birthday.
Back to the King of the Wings.
Yes,
And the IRA. This year is a respite. They're clearly not coming back potentially in that area of Wisconsin and Illinois and
Okay.
such. There is just a lot of pressure on sprint car races, World of Outlaw races, high limit races, and such.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's great to have the IRA guys here, right? It's
Oh
great.
yeah, for sure.
So this might be the perfect scenario, right? We get the MSTS guys involved, and then maybe next year the IRAs come back, and
Maybe get all three.
there
know?
you go.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be perfect?
The
So-
IRA
would
is
be.
between a rock and a hard place. It's not just the top 410 groups. They've got 2 or 3, 4 other regional series too. They're fighting for ground with over there too.
Sure.
So they got
MOA
They
is
got
one
a
of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the Power Eyes got 410 now, so they're kind of fighting their own battle down there once they get things settled down there. you know.
Nonetheless, it'll be
Yeah.
a great
No, it'll
event
be
for
fun.
River City Speedway. And we're
Oh,
happy
for
to be
sure,
involved.
for sure.
Jim Springer, that's actually both, but the ones coming here are 410. They
Okay.
have both 410 and 360, but we might get a few 360 guys that follow them.
The
but
360s they'll be as good as a 410 if
Yeah.
they're
Well, how many times have we seen a 360 beat 410s at
Yeah,
River City
right.
Speedway?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time. Well, not all the time, but we have all seen it happen more than once. That is for sure.
Brad Pake.
Yeah.
Brad Pake was the guy.
And yeah, and speaking of that, are we going to see more of Andy, do you think, this
I
year?
think so. Probably
I
a
hope
little
so.
bit. Yep.
I know coming from the 305s and working your way up, but the kid's showing some potential.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Some of these
for
young
sure.
kids.
got
Yeah.
the perfect pull for the shots girls. Got one sprint car on one side and late model on the other.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see those guys again. And did you make it Wednesday? Were you down there yesterday?
I was in Fargo. I did not make it to lunch.
Okay.
Just wanted to get down there and try and run as much through as we could there. So
I think one day we should all take a road trip down there and just go crash their party at the Dolly Down. I think that would be a fun time. The new schedules are out. One thing I did want to mention, and we'll see what happens, but we talk a lot about on Dirty Thursday concession stands. River City Speedway. It doesn't matter where I am. I'll be in Alaska next week, and I'll be talking about the concession stand at River City Speedway because I freaking love their food. I try something different every week for a long time. I think I did that for about 2 years. I've tried just about everything. I love it all. I mean, I've got my favorites, but I know Scotty had mentioned homemade corn dogs, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll see what happens there, but like I was saying, even at the fair, when the fair comes to town, I always used to, there was times I'd go just to get corn dogs because I hadn't had one that good, but they don't even taste like they did back then. There's something different. So I'm excited to see to taste what a homemade corn dog tastes like. I think that's going to be
Scotty
a lot of
does
fun.
a fantastic job with all that.
More of a shoestring French fry, I guess, too.
A shoestring French fry. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm a fry guy too.
I'm into that.
US Foods people are
I'm into that.
pushing.
Nate, can we get gravy on the fries? I mean,
No.
we get the poutine thing, going on. No.
I don't know.
Just a straight up no.
Homemade gravy. Will you make the gravy?
Yeah. I don't know if you'd want to eat the gravy I make. We were at a place yesterday and happened to be with a Canadian radio guy here. And nobody has poutine around here. It's pretty tough to find. But he ordered the waffle fries, the round waffle fries, and 2 cups of gravy on the side. So he made his own, and that was right downtown Grand Forks. But
you gotta be careful if you get a little bit ghetto with that stuff. I told some Canadians once, I was like, I didn't have cheese curds, so I put Kraft singles on top of the gravy and the fries. They almost kicked me out for that. So you gotta be careful.
There's nothing wrong with the Kraft singles.
But it's gotta be the straight up cheese curd though. Otherwise, you might get yourself into some trouble.
yeah,
So,
Heather makes a good point here. She says Nolan won't let me do poutine either, John. He said the Canadians will be too critical. And I believe that. I get it. I mean,
things the Canadians are critical about poutine. Things they aren't dirty race trailers coming into their country. That was just for them.
it's like we are critical about Busch
We're
Light.
supposed to,
Yeah,
aren't we
yeah.
all supposed to get along?
You know what? That is one thing.
I can't wait to see the Canadians.
Oh, I can't either.
Yeah.
I can't. I was talking to a lady yesterday who they winter in Florida, and she made the comment. I don't know if she made it just because she knew I was there, and I don't want to get political, but she said all the Canadians hate Trump, and I said, well, that's kind of funny because all the ones I know, and I know a lot of them, they like him. So I don't know. Well, I just like these guys. They're great guys. Actually, I'm surprised they haven't texted in yet here. But anyway, they really do have great food. Everyone in my family has something they like. Great choices. Leave your trailer dirty. They won't check your shit. Okay, there we go.
So apparently, just get a trailer.
There you go. Just get a trailer.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to add this year that we're going to do, John, is John, is we're going to add a point fund to both the street stocks and the B mods.
Oh,
Top 5.
okay.
Minimum 500 to win each point fund.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna
So
pay
a nice bonus.
We're going to pay the top 5.
Oh, wow. That is
Nice.
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 That is, and it used to be the street stocks were the lower class, the starting class, but you watch these in the B mods now. I mean, my God, these guys could drive cars. And like you had said at the beginning of the show, some of the best shows were probably the street stocks or the B mod shows.
They race in packs.
Yeah, they do. And it, it's cool when there's an opportunity for 5 people to win going into the last lap of the race. That's when you got a race because it's going to boil right down to the last second, and that is what I like. Stuff is full of SHIT. They open the door and say, nope, four-wheeler is in the way. They can't get in the door. Whoopsie. Oh, boy. So we will get a check every week. Kaylee. Well, maybe. No, I think that's at the end of the year, right? The point fund thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about that is too they put on good racing and all that, but their numbers aren't too far off from the sprints and the lates to just even be out there these days.
Right.
So
Is the Al Delane, is that now going to be here? Because last year it got rained out and it got moved here, but I see it's on the schedule here. Or how does that work?
It's been here for years.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
well, which one got
that
here?
was the Howie.
The Howie.
That was the late model.
That's what it
This
was,
is the
Howie show,
modified
the Al Delane.
portion.
Yes, of course, I know that.
I think the Delane's been here since 21 or 2.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, gosh,
Yep.
I knew that.
Yeah, that's the mod portion on the Friday.
Little Canada and the food after the sites last year was my favorite experience. I always miss out on the food.
Oh,
I'm just
that is
can't.
my favorite of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
Miller's Barbecue.
That corner kind of it's part of the weekend and makes the weekend.
absolutely.
Right? I mean, it's
That's tradition. Right there.
Yeah,
you just you go in there and you got a skewer in your ear and you're battling with this guy out on the racetrack and now you're throwing food at him.
Yeah,
right? And laughing and giggling.
And they're there for a reason, and that's to race.
Right.
But they still manage to have a great time like that. Again, we could beat this like a dead horse. The racing family is a family. They really are. And most of the people get together at the end of the night, and everybody is having a great time. We need to get there early this year. Did they skip the Escargot, or did I miss it? Don't tell me there was Escargot.
They do.
Oh, boy.
They do. I would never do it anywhere except for, well, pretty soon the skewer's in the pan, right? And you're like, what's this? And I'm like, well, if he can pull this off, I guess we'll just
don't like
anything that
snails?
comes by.
Cargo.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought that's
It
what,
was good.
I thought that's what S&S Transport was into. Cargo.
Oh, S&S Cargo.
Isn't that snail?
That is a good one.
Help me out, Steven.
It is stale. Yep.
Is it snails?
Yeah, it is.
I haven't had those.
Oh, they're good. They're delicious.
Oh yeah,
Now
you know what?
scallops, that's a different thing.
Very good.
We got to give James Maher a shout out for Saturday morning breakfast.
Oh, that's right.
Him
right.
and Dan McNamee and
Wow, those are good breakfast
my burritos, right.
pancakes.
Yeah. Jeepers.
And when you go over to the Mahar trailer after Friday nights too, it's pretty tasty, right?
Oh, okay. See, I miss out on all of that stuff all the time.
Because it's past your bedtime and
Yeah.
you gotta go home, I guess.
Kind of does get past my bedtime a little bit. What am I missing out on? I know we got other things we got to get going. We're well over an hour into this show, but what do we want to wrap this show up with, you guys?
Well, I think, on the heels of Brina's creativity and the Easter egg hunt and stuff like that, you always have to do different things, new things. We've for a few years now, we've had some theme nights where we bring in the military over the 4th of July or the 2nd of July,
Yep.
and we work with those fine folks. And we do this thing called Celebrate Dirt.
Yep.
We've talked about some things. They're not formalized or what have you yet, but can we let the cat out of the bag with the idea that you and I came up with, Brad?
Uh-oh.
The Friends from North of the Border.
yeah. So we're working with a dealership up in Winnipeg right now, McNaught.
Okay.
Cadillac.
Yep,
And
yep.
Frank talking about racing down here a lot, and just want to kind of get a gimmick going with them, and possibly 4 nights a year where Winnipeg people are at par at the front gate.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
No,
Okay.
get this one.
Nice.
No tear-offs at River City Speedway.
Oh, I love
Canadians
that.
at par.
I love
Yeah.
that tear-offs.
No tear offs. That might get a little bit.
No tear-offs.
That might get a little bit dangerous.
I think that is great. I think that is great.
We can get creative with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Corey Litton, great show today, fellas. Looking forward to getting up your way a few times this year. We're looking forward to it. Kent Gregoire, never heard of him. Loves River Cities. Thank you.
Does Corey come up in the booth with you once in a while?
He has. I know that I've also ran into him just sitting in the stands. I mean, he's fortunate enough to be able to do that stuff and go. And gosh, I wish I could do it a little more too, or just go show up at these different racetracks.
He
But
needs to invite you to his track so you can go up there.
well, we're trying to work it out, but it's always on a Friday. Usually they run on Fridays too. So,
We-
but I'm
we
going
do
to
have
try to
a
get to
Wednesday.
Ada.
We have Wednesdays and Thursdays this year.
Yep, and I'm going to try to I'd like to go to Ada, and I haven't been to Fargo since it was a half mile. Back when we were running 360s up there.
This is a good point by Kaylee here. This is another ad, a good ad by you guys. The buses.
Go ahead, you can read it.
So please make sure the buses full of fans come down and take their tour through the pits again this year. That was a fun thing to send Ken and Camera to hand out driver cards and stuff and stickers. And when you guys throw the buses out there when the heats are coming out, and then the guys will come up. I don't know if they get a command on the receiver or not, but you all spin their tires next to the bus and whatever, and the smiles in that bus when it pulls into the infield are ear to ear and all that.
And I don't know, are there any other local tracks that do anything like that? The buses out there with the race cars at the same time?
We're fortunate to have Keith Eggle get the buses rolling all the time. And that thing has just evolved, right?
Yeah.
I think last year when Mark had the two-seater out, Keith and Mark were playing, cat and mouse a little bit out there too. But it's really, I would allude to what you just said. There's lots of smiles on the faces of all the, not only the kids, but the adults are climbing in there too, because it's an experience.
Yep. It is. And you could be going 10 miles an hour around that track in a bus, and it seems like you're going 100. It really does, and it's a whole different perspective from
you can
being
be
up
going
in the stands.
30 in a Renegade and feel like you're doing 300.
Well, that's true. You
so.
could be strapped in the back seat with frickin' Marty too, and feel like you're going 9,000. Great show, fellas. Looking forward to the season. Timmy Schwann's great show, guys. Maybe Brad can meet us at your North End office with his wallet. I think what he means, Brad, is we meet at the Broken Drum and you're buying. I'm guessing that's what that means. Kent, gas money for fans from Fargo. If it was only that easy. I think should we wrap it up?
I wonder if that's our same Kent Gregoire that flagged here.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Hall of Famer, too.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, the names sound familiar.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Bert's trucking.
Gotta be.
You know what? I got to give a shout out to Ryan Flotten and his staff that he's acquired on this Hall of Fame stuff.
Oh, they do a fantastic job.
You know what? In all honesty, River City Speedway lost sight of who should go in and who shouldn't, and Ryan put together a Bible.
Yep, he did.
Like you would not believe.
And
We're starting to get caught up, and very excited for the people going in this year too.
And I like it because he basically writes everything down, because I'm the one that's introducing him, and he does such a fantastic job. He's one of those guys that makes me sound good. Between him, Stephen Lewis, and Amanda Joe, especially with the losses we've had, it's hard for me to put into words with these, all of these things. But you mentioned Ryan, and of course these two, they do a fantastic job. And I get what you're talking about. I know the whole Hall of Fame thing. There's people that think they have more say than others, but it's the people that really know, and he's one of them.
And he's got the results.
I mean, he's probably got pictures from every race since 1950. I don't know.
I don't have to bow down to many people when it comes to their information and pictures, but to Ryan, I definitely do.
Yeah. And did you just admit that?
I did.
Wow.
It's on the record. That's why I said it here.
That
So
tells you
after
something.
last year's Hall of Fame, just out of curiosity, right? Who knows? And I would have probably asked you if I would have ran into you before I ran into Ryan, but the information that you guys have it's awesome. Right?
It is.
It's historical. And so I just threw that out there, and he said, just give me overnight. And the next day he said we were at 473 completed shows.
Wow.
I would have never dreamt that,
That is nuts. 473. And by the way, that is
It's
Kent
493 now.
Yep,
93.
493.
Excuse me, you corrected me.
Yep.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank God we didn't do the whatever, and it was last week.
Well, he's the one that told me about our 200th show. And that's when we did that. And we, by the way, do plan on, hopefully, I got to make sure this is all good with everybody else here, but we're planning on hopefully doing Dirty Thursday from the beer gardens again during the fair week. For sure, we're hoping, and possibly some more. So
There
hopefully
might be some big things going on in the beer gardens this year.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this too. By the way, that was Kent Gregoire. He said yes. Perfect. Hi, Kent. I don't know if I've ever seen his name on there before, so that is pretty neat. Folks, find out more about the schedule. You can see Dale had everything on there. You can go to rivercityspeedway.com to find out more. We've got a great schedule this year. World of Outlaw Sprint cars are here a couple of times. World of Outlaw late models are here. Wayne Anderson Cup. We got 4 nights of that. Of course, the John Seitz Memorial and the prelude to the Johnny Hall of Fame night, school bus racing. If you want the best dirt track on the planet, and especially if you've never been there, come and check it out. I guarantee you will have a great time. Reach out to us beforehand if you want. Get a hold of us. You can email me at local@gfbestsource.com. Let us know you're coming up here. Let us know you're a first-timer. Hell, I'll meet you at the gate and kind of show you guys around and show you how much fun it is.
Hey, maybe even get them in.
We maybe could. I know a guy. Yeah. It's over there. Knock it off. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go eat some. I'm gonna go eat some mac and cheese. I don't know about you guys, but anyway, I want to thank you to River City Speedway, some of the track ownership here, of course, Darren Evavold and Brad Seng, and as always, Dale the producer, Stephen Lewis.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I will be gone next week. It's gonna be Stephen and Dale are gonna be taking care of the show. Who do we decide is on next week again? Do you remember?
Yeah, it is Brody Kraft and Kylan Vargason. Both will be making their Dirty Thursday debuts, and they'll be bringing their dads with them, too. Well, next-gen father-son racer dynamic on next week's show.
Awesome. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
John,
Very
one
good
quick
stuff.
thing. You're talking about someone to replace Chad.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a guy.
No, it does not. And again, you've got the number. You can personal message me if you want. You can reach out to me here. Right now, we've got a guy, but we kind of decided we'll leave this year. If somebody wants in, I talked to another guy last night about it. I'll give him a chance. We'll give him a chance to get down there and show us what you got. Right now, the guy we're talking about, Gary, I think is going to be awesome. But we will give anybody a chance that wants to. And again, it is open for girls too. I think it'd be, anybody wants to do it. We'll try to figure it out. When are we going to start the women at the track again? I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. All right.
Go back to school.
Yeah. You're just mad at the pictures she sent.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be a guy. That's what we're saying, Brina. In fact, I even mentioned your name earlier, but you've got other things going on. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. River City Speedway is sponsoring our Dirty Thursday. They're back on board again. I can't wait for this season. It's going to be awesome. Our show today, by the way, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Oh, sorry, it's rumors. God, I know that. I've been doing this for how long? When I said I was going to go have some mac and cheese, that's where I'm going. I'm heading to Rumors right now. In fact, when you go check out their great lunch specials, today, get a sandwich and a side for just $7. It doesn't mean you have to get that. It's a great place. They've got great lunch and dinner specials, $7 express lunch. Have yourself a world-famous beer tower, too. I can't. I'm going to have a Busch Light. Buses to all the UND sporting events, big-name concerts. Go watch the Minnesota Wild tonight kick butt on who are the Wild playing again tonight? They're going to kick butt on Vegas on the Golden Knights. It's all there. NHL, NBA, whatever playoffs you want to go to, check them out. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. How about that? What do we got going on here? Brew Brothers tonight, 9 o'clock. If you like beer, you're going to love the Brew Brothers podcast. We'll catch you in the morning. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. We love the Forks. Grand Forks Best Source is giving the Forks their identity back.